Burnouts. We are back with another loaded pod. I am your host, Christian Felipe, aka Fired Up Felipe, aka the Chief Burnout, aka the NBA Cuphead. Thank you for tuning in once again. Please make sure to like, subscribe, drop a 5-star rating, comment, share it with your friends, all that. Today's pod is a doozy. We have a guest joining us. We'll be talking about the few games the Heat have played since we last recorded. That's Clippers at Heat. That was a fun one. And then we had Heat at Mavericks. Not as much of a fun one, but still a lot of stuff in both those games to discuss. We lightly preview the Heat's next game against the Magic, which is not actually a cup game. It is the prelude to the cup game that will be 4 days after that against the Magic. And we also preview the Kings at Heat game. It's a back-to-back coming up for the Heat, a Friday, Saturday back-to-back with the cup game coming up on Monday or Tuesday of next week. We'll go into all that, and then we hit a few other things. It's about a quarter of the season through, 20-ish games for most teams have passed by. We do our quarter season check-in for awards. We talk through MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, Most Improved, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year. We don't do Clutch Player of the Year because that's not a real award, but we do hit those, and then we hit some league-wide topics, some trade stuff like Giannis. Is he getting traded to the Heat? Probably not, but we do talk about it, we discuss it, and a few other things. Just stay tuned for all that and more after this. Let's just jump right into it. This is a early morning-ish podcast here. We're recording off of the cusp of a loss to the Dallas Mavericks, which is unfortunate. You don't like to lose to the Mavericks, but I mean, they're a little better than expected. They've been on a little bit of a heater. Cooper has been playing like someone who might want to win Rookie of the Year, so I'm not too stressed out about it. But we are joined today, so used to recording at night. We are joined today by Lenny Almaguer here to help us just digest what's been going on. We'll also be getting into some like league-wide stuff after we do some Heat recapping. But Lenny, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Not bad. Tough night of sleep with that loss, but we're recovering. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah. I mean, look, you never want to go down to a team that's obviously one of the worst in the league. I was talking about this with, I forgot who, it might have been you, but I don't remember. That the Mavericks up to this point had been one of the teams that played the most clutch games that were down to, between 5 points at the end, and they've just had the worst record in those games. So they've been in a lot of the games that they've lost. It's not like they're getting blown out. But nonetheless, I mean, they have one of the worst offenses in the league, and we have had one of the best defenses in the league. So you're kind of thinking we can get some stops. We can make this work. Clearly, I mean, the shots weren't falling. I think that's like a big story for the Heat tonight. They just Pella Larson 0 for 4 from 3. Andrew Wiggins really put up a stinker today.
Let's not talk about Wiggins.
Yeah, I mean, I love Wiggins, but 4 for 18 from the field is not what you want to see.
He gets a pass from me due to his play so far this season. I think he's been great.
He can get one stinker. He can have a stinker.
He's due for a stinker from time to time. That's fine.
Yeah, he he just didn't have a good one. Tyler Hero started off scorching. I remember I took a note. I'm like, shoot, he has 20 at the half already.
Mm-hmm.
He ended the game with 20.
20.
Yeah, so that's not exciting either. I mean, even Davion, 2 for 7 today. He did have 9 assists, which fucking Davion, 9 assists, 0 turnovers.
That's
What a guy.
I mean, I had no zero complaints on Davion. He is who he is. Did you see they asked Spo yesterday after the game about Tyler only taking, I think it was 4 or 5 shots in the second half?
I think it was 5, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, I have to do a better job of getting him, in his spots which, yeah, that offense was struggling for a bit. It could have used a little bit of, some Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny, people were piling on Tyler for mentioning in one of his post games that like we'll be bringing in a couple more pick and rolls with him to help him get going sometimes. And people are like, you see, Tyler's trying to change the whole offense. He's a fucking locker room cancer. God forbid he wants 4 more pick and rolls than the 7 we're running a game, like. And then actually, you had mentioned it to me. I didn't even know, but Norman Powell and Bam were on the Old Man at 3. I just listened to it, and Powell in this interview that just dropped today was even saying, yeah, man, I'm really hoping we get to run a couple more pick and rolls. I want to get in that 2-man action. Guaranteed that he doesn't receive the same blowback that Tyler got for saying that comment.
And I don't know if in the video that I sent you yesterday explaining the offense kind of, they talk about the success rate with pick and rolls from like I think it was like year 2002 to 2018 when it started to go down a little bit. But it's one of the most successful plays in basketball. Like they
Yeah,
use the NBA was primarily pick and roll offense for a long time due to its success rate. It's not like it doesn't work, but you have to switch it up.
you have to switch it up because defenses are more keyed in
Yeah.
on that specific play now. And I mean, we're not the only team running less pick and rolls than the past. We're just the Heat are the most dramatic case study for this
You
right
know,
now, is where we're
the
barely running
stats are
any.
insane.
Yeah. But nonetheless, I mean, like, sprinkle in a couple of that, get Tyler going a bit more.
Hmm.
We were in the game for most of the game. Again, also Simone is just continuing his cold streak as
Man,
well.
what a slump from the
Yeah.
lad. And honestly, he plays well enough on defense where it's like you still justify giving him minutes.
Yeah, he has been better on that end.
And the gravity he creates on offense, it helps our offense move. Like our offense looks good when he's on the court. It would just help if he could bang a three here and there.
It would really be nice. There's like it just helps the momentum so much more,
And
and
he's taking
especially
good quality threes. Like I don't think they're rushed. I don't think they're contested. Like they're good quality threes. He's just not hitting them right now.
just not hitting him. I mean, you got to hope that he gets out of that slump. I mean, even Hawkes hasn't. He was still a positive, like literally on the plus minus. Hawkes
He
was
played
today.
his defense was good and he had a lot of dives for loose balls and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
4 steals alone on him, which is
But his
crazy.
offense has been struggling recently.
Yeah, he's been missing some shots that he normally makes. And again, like same thing you were saying with Simone, like he's gotten a lot of good looks from the mid range. It's
Yeah.
not like his
Yeah,
moves
yeah, yeah.
aren't working. He's
No.
just
He's taking great shots. The shot quality's there, which it
yeah,
leads me to not overreact to these things. Then
exactly. Like it's different if I mean, and there were some plays where the Dallas defense was smothering, but again, they have one of the
they have a
better
good
defenses in
defense.
the league. Yeah, but it wasn't every play. It was a lot of plays where even if it ended up taking the whole shot clock, which is not normal for the Heat's offense this season, someone ended up getting a good look and then it didn't fall. I mean, even shit, Bam went 1 for 6 from three today, which he was bound
Yeah,
to go back down to earth after last night's game. I mean, after the Clippers game, I had wrote that the gods are punishing us for how hot we were against the Clippers. They
right.
they they needed to teach us a
That's
lesson,
usually how it
and
happens, though. When you have
yeah,
like a really hot game, you usually can't hit a bucket the next game.
yeah, it's like they were all, and they all. The thing is, I was so hyped because the first play of this game was Bam just taking a top of the key three, just boom, sunk it. I'm like, okay, picking up right where we left off.
This is just who he
Uh,
is now.
yeah, and then nothing happened for the rest of the game, which is fine. But I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Like again, okay, Cooper Flag had 22 points, went 9 of 13 from the
He had a great
field.
game. Honestly, I
He
haven't been huge on Cooper Flag this year,
no,
but
but
after
this
watching last
was
night, he has something.
he was doing it all. He had those 3 early fouls like within the first 13 minutes of the game. It was like the third one
Yeah,
came at the beginning of the second quarter, and
that
I
really
remember
impressed me. The fact that he was able to right there, no more fouls, the rest of the
no
game.
more, none, and they kept him in. He played 31 minutes, and he barely had any more
That's
fouls.
not something an 18-year-old rookie usually can do.
He's 18.
No, he's impressive. He's impressive.
Yeah. He also, oh wow, I had written in my notes something about him taking a three, and if you could space the floor, would be great for him. I guess it was just a really long two, but
Yeah,
nonetheless,
his foot. I remember. I know exactly who shot you're talking about. His foot was on the line. That's one thing I saw yesterday. He's not a 3-point shooter. What's
not
he
yet.
shooting? What does he shoot to? Like, how many attempts does he have per game?
We could find that out for you real quick, but no, that's been at least from what the beginning of the season, especially. I know that was one of his things. He's averaging 3.5 attempts per game from three, and he's
Okay,
only shooting 25.6% right now.
that's
Uh,
the next. And when he gets that going, and there's a reason he can't get it going.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
gonna
there's no
be.
spacing. There's not a lot of spacing on that team to begin with, too. Not that that's like gonna solve everything for him, but I
No,
mean,
no,
from
no.
what everybody's seen too, he kind of just looks like a workhorse. He's gonna keep
Dallas
getting
doesn't own their
better.
pick this year, right?
They do. They don't own it next year or like any of the years after for a little
But
bit.
they
So
own it this year.
this year is important for them to be bad.
Yeah, they should really tank.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
if they
AD
could
was
get
putting
away
on a
with,
little show for some trades, maybe.
yeah, I would trade. I would empty that team out. Besides Cooper, and you build around. And if you could grab like one of the Boozer twins, and you're cooking. Even
You
though
can get
Cooper and one of the Boozer twins, I think would be repetitive.
yeah, but there's I mean, from what I've seen, I don't keep too much up with college ball. I get more into it when March
I know
Madness
like
kind of
the
comes
main like
around.
4 or 5 guys.
Yeah, Devonsa, Cooper,
Yeah.
but once either way, they got to find something good in that draft just to kind of help rebuild around him. You're not look, Nico's vision wasn't real. You're not winning a
Mm,
chip with this team. This isn't a
no,
real team that can win a championship. Their
no, no,
offense
no.
isn't good enough. Uh, But George, I had him on the podcast last. He had a really good point. If you're Clay, you kind of need to stay in Dallas.
Well, he's getting playing time though, and he's taking
Well,
all
and
the
because of
shots.
Meg the Stallion,
Why is that?
she lives in Texas. She's a Texan,
Oh,
and
okay, okay,
they just bought a house.
okay.
So he can't
Yeah.
get traded. He has
No,
to
he
stay.
needs to stay there.
Yeah, I think he needs to
Yeah.
threaten retirement if they threaten to trade him.
No, he can't. He can't go anywhere. Or
Yeah,
if you're
so
gonna trade him, it has to be to San Antonio or Houston.
or yeah, he only two Texas teams, and that's the
He'd be
only.
great on the Rockets.
Oh my goodness! I mean, the Rockets have been. I am not excited for our next matchup against them.
Do we play them soon?
I don't hope not. Let's see.
I
Let's
hope we
find
don't
out.
play the Thunder anytime soon.
We play. I know we play the Thunder in January at some point. We don't play the Rockets until February, till end of February. Yeah,
Okay.
the Thunder is going to be a. I mean, thankfully we're in the East and we only have to play them twice because that team is, yeah, they're very scary.
Yikes.
But just a couple of more things too, just to point out. This was interesting. I didn't notice this live. I mean, it did feel like the minutes were lacking, but Bam only played 28 minutes this game, and Ware only played 25, and
I
Powell
saw that.
obviously didn't play.
I saw
So
that. What the hell was that about?
yeah, I'm like, I wonder how much that affects the loss. I mean, obviously it does to some extent. I don't know if Spo. I don't know. I don't know if maybe he's just giving them a little bit of a rest because we do have a back to back coming up with the our next two games against Magic and Kings is a back to back.
Yeah, but if you can't be that can't be your line of thought with a 20, what is he, 19, 20 years old, Delaware.
That's the weird part. I mean, the Bam thing. I think maybe
Bam,
they're still
I
not
mean, I
rushing him
guess if you
because
want
the
to manage
injury.
his minutes, yeah, if you want to manage his minutes, but Kalel,
But yeah, I don't.
if you're gonna do that, then Kalel should be playing 35 plus minutes.
Yeah, I think he must be still figuring out the lineups with everything that's been in and out because Clo's. I mean, the plus minus isn't there, but he was cooking. He was scoring, and the energy was there. The rebounds, the fighting
I
for the
haven't
ball.
I haven't been a fan of the rotations since in the last maybe like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah,
He's
I
gonna
think he's
figure
trying
it
to
out.
figure it out with the Tyler back in. It's just
I
completely
also, at the end
different.
of the day, I think you have in Kalel, you have to start him. He has to be getting minutes with Bam. It's your
I
best lineup.
but it's just so hard because who goes to the bench, right? It's
I
either it has
understand,
to,
and it also is unfortunate that you could look and say maybe we could play Nico some backup 5 minutes, but Nico
but you.
looks awful.
That's the thing. That's also a big thing.
Nico looks
They've
awful. I don't know
had to
what's happened
stagger
to him.
them.
I don't know what's
He
happened to him. He looks lost.
if his first shot doesn't go in, he's just checked out. He's just checked out.
I don't know
His
what it
mental is
is.
not there.
It's. I was telling Jose yesterday, the confidence is like in anything that he does, driving to the rim or taking a shot, he just looks like it's like I know I'm not gonna hit this, but whatever.
He only yeah, it's really sad. He only played 6 minutes.
And he was -8, I think, in those 6 minutes.
Yeah, he was -8 in
It
6 minutes.
that's awful. That's
That's
unplayable. That means
that's
that every
really
time you're
bad.
coming into the game, and if you look at his stats from the last 2 or 3 games, same thing. He's like
Yeah,
a ridiculous minus.
I don't know. I mean, he didn't look great to start the season, but he looked better than this. I really.
I think it just snowballed. Like if the
Yeah.
confidence went slowly, like, all right, I'm gonna figure this out, I'm gonna figure this out, and he kept struggling. And then he got benched recently in the last 2 or 3 games because he was out with an injury. And then the first game, I forgot who it was against, that I was like, damn, Nico didn't play any minutes. He was available.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a couple of those. I mean, at this point, like, is he a Skyforce candidate? Just send him over there
No, man, I
to
don't
get
think
some
you do
points.
that. I really, I don't know what you do with him, but he's got to figure it out.
Yeah, it's tough. I really don't know what they're gonna do about that. I mean,
I
hopefully this
mean,
is
the
just a
thing is,
really
you got to
ugly
keep playing
funk.
him. You got to keep playing him
We just
because
resigned him.
you
Yeah,
just resigned him. It's like you can't just like relegate him to the bench now forever. You have to
yeah,
play him and hopefully maybe try to get him some garbage time minutes. See if he can hit a couple jump shots, get the confidence going. But you got to play him,
yeah. I really don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do.
and you got to try to find a lineup that works for him. I always thought he played really well with Ware and Jaime. I, I like
He was playing well with them,
I like
and
that lineup. If you get him, Drew Smith, maybe Norm, Jaime, Ware, and Jovic, I think that's a lineup that he could thrive in.
yeah, but I don't know. I think it's a mental thing to your point too, though. I don't
No,
know whoever.
it's 100% a mental thing. It's not like the Monstars came in and sucked his talents out.
Yeah, I'm like he always was like kind of wishy-washy. Like some games he'd show flashes, some games he was average, but this is just a really, really bad stretch for him. So
And
you're hoping,
specifically last season, I thought he took a big step with his defense. I was like, he
yeah.
looks much better on defense. And now, did you see him? He got cooked by Nemhard.
Well,
Like he
Neymar
got
was
his
cooking
ankles broke.
everybody, but still, it's
Sure,
like,
sure, but he broke his ankles. Like he made him look
yeah,
ridiculous.
he did make him look ridiculous. That was a pretty bad, and that was again in very limited minutes. You go out there, you're fresh legs, and you're just getting absolutely cooked by Ryan Nemhard.
It's crazy how when before the season started, we were all like, I mean, Nico is a shoe-in for the starting lineup.
Yeah, wait, that
And
was a
now it's
question. That was
and
a
now
big
he's
question.
fighting to see if he could get minutes at all.
We're all like, we have to start Nico at the four. It's going to be the thing, Nico's going to be at the four, and
By far the biggest disappointment this season.
yeah, it's tough scenes, man. I don't know whoever Jaime saw in the summer. He needs to send that number over to
Yeah, he
Nico.
needs to. Yeah.
Let Nico leave for a few weeks and just talk to a therapist and
Mm-hmm.
get his mind right, get back on track because it's tough. But before we move on to going backwards in time and talking about the Clippers game, which was much more fun, I think,
Yeah,
much more fun.
that's better vibes.
Yeah, way better. How are you feeling about Anthony Davis? Like, if you were looking at him as a trade candidate, I'm of the mindset that he doesn't make sense necessarily for the Heat, but who does he go to? Where does he go?
Um, Funny enough, I think he'd be the best fit on the Lakers. Um,
You think they could
uh,
do another deal?
man. But
Austin
Anthony Davis,
Reeves for Anthony Davis?
you just saw yesterday. I mean, he looked good yesterday. He
He did
was
look really, really good.
active. The defense is always going to be there. He could hit shit
17
jumps.
rebounds, three
What is he?
blocks,
What did he shoot from three? I think he
two
was
for
like
four.
2 for 4.
Yeah, he remembered how to
He
shoot
could
threes
bang. He
yesterday.
could banger from three. I don't know, man. They definitely have to trade him. I don't know what they could get for him though, because of his availability.
That's the thing. It's
He's
so hard with
always.
players like him. The talent is like up here, but then how many games are you actually gonna get of Anthony Davis?
I
There's
don't know.
there's a lot of movement that's gonna. We'll get into that a bit more. I feel like there's a lot of movement that's gonna be happening, and there's one big domino I think that has to fall before the rest of the dominoes fall.
You know he could come to Miami. Uh, and Dallas takes Nico since they lost their Balkan in Luca.
Oh,
Now they have Nico,
they
and
need a
it's like
Balkan. Yeah, you get.
he's basically Luca.
Yeah. I mean,
Right
almost
now,
the
right
same.
now, forget about
He,
the last
but he could
couple,
be.
but he could be,
He
and
could
he's
be.
young.
We
He's
we
young.
send them. We send Nico and Terry Rozier's contract.
Nico and Terry, and
Yeah.
Nico gets to wear 77,
Yes. He just dyes his
just like
hair and
yeah.
it'll be the same. I think that's a good idea. I'm okay with that trade. If Dallas is ready to sign off on that, we'll send you Nico and Terry Rozier. No picks for Anthony Davis.
Imagine making that phone call, and they're like, "Did you see him play last night?" I was like, "No, yeah, I know,
But the potential,
think about the potential."
the potential is there. He's
And
only 22.
he's willing to change his name to Luka Jovic, by the way.
He will change his name to whatever you would like. But seriously though, I mean, maybe Nico just I don't know. Kasparis has been playing great in the Skyforce. Maybe we just start giving
I saw
Kasparis
that,
some
but
minutes.
again, it always comes back down to who's he taking minutes from? Because Drew
And
Smith is also playing fantastic right now,
Drew Smith has been.
and you
So
can't bench
just
Davion. So like,
yeah, we need to play
Kasparis
Nico's minutes because either we need him to get better or we need to trade him. So we kind of need to
Kasparis is
play
going to
him.
get minutes when eventually one of those two get injured, and if he performs, then Spo has a tough decision to make because
Yeah,
then you
or
have
if he
three
gets
point guards.
packaged,
I don't know.
or if he
I
gets
don't know.
packaged. But we'll move on. We'll do some recap before we start getting into the really really fun stuff. But the next game or the previous game to this, Clippers at Heat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was really upset about this game. I've gone through this with everyone I get a chance to talk to. We need to stop doing what's best for us and do what's best for everyone. Everyone needs to do this. We need to let the Clippers win games. They're
Mm.
going to give Oklahoma City a top 3 pick in the draft, and then it's over. And then it's over.
And then it really is over.
How is a 20-1 team, 21-1 now, I'm sorry, they're going to have 3 first-round picks this year, 2 of which might be in the lottery.
Because they own their own.
No, they own Utah's, theirs, and one other, and the Clippers and one other team. It's like a few swaps that are going on.
I don't know how anybody allowed this.
No, I don't.
So
I just
let me see real quick. How many first round picks do they own?
it's like going into the future.
Yeah.
It's crazy. While you look that up, I just want to say I saw a very cursed tweet that this trade works, and it's like Oklahoma City sending out 5 first-round picks, Lou Dort and Hardenstein for Giannis.
I
It's
mean,
just like, oh my god,
they could,
they,
and that would be they currently have 11 first round picks over the next 7 years.
come on, man. A lot of them are good,
What? What?
and a
They
lot of
also
them
have
are
one of
really
ours.
good.
How do they have
They,
one of ours?
I think it got traded around. I think that's one of our picks. It's been like being traded for forever.
No. What the hell, man?
Yeah, they're in a great spot. So that's the only thing I'm mad about. But aside from that, it was a very fun game. That was a this is just a little Heat history stat. They I think they showed this on the broadcast. This is the 5th time this season the Heat scored 140 plus points in a game. Throughout the Heat's history, we've only
Oh yeah, I
ever
saw
had
that.
12 such games,
Hmm.
and we're 12-0 in those games. But 12 times in the Heat history, 5 of which happened this season, we've scored 140 points. That's, man, what a pleasant experience. What a good time to be a Heat fan.
Incredible, incredible hoops.
That was a game where I took a note and I just wrote Wiggins with a heart sign. So it balances out
Better times.
better times. It was a much better Wiggins game. Wiggins was completely on fire this game. He was 9 for 14 from the field, 2 of 3 from three, had 22 points. I mean, Norm had 30, Bam had 27, Tyler Hero had 22. That's 4 of our starters with 20 plus points, and Davion Mitchell had 16 points.
That
With
starting lineup stats is just nuts.
That's yeah. All their plus minuses were insane. Other than Tyler Heroes was a little bit weighted down because the bench didn't play well that game. But I mean, we saw what I don't even know if it was necessarily the bench not playing well. I mean, sure, that's some of it, but a lot more of it was Kawhi turned into the Terminator for a couple minutes there, and
He's another one that I put in the Anthony Davis boat. Like, what does a market for Kawhi look like? Because he doesn't play.
you have to be a team that's good enough. Honestly,
That
like the Heat,
yes, that you're a Kawhi away, but you could make it through the regular season and just hope that he stays healthy for the playoffs and gives you one playoff run.
just one more. Can those legs do
You
a
need like a
playoff
month
run?
and a half of basketball from him, which it's tough to get, to be honest.
He
A
is
consistent month and a half.
he is I mean the stats, I'll read the stats just to read them from him that game. He went 12 of 21 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. He had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 36 points. He was a +8 in a game that
They lost
they
by a lot.
they lost by a lot. Yeah, he was terrifying, honestly. That guy, he cut the lead to like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pretty
And
low.
it's just he does it the way he just does it so very easily, like matter of fact, like okay,
He gets to a spot, he just bumps
gets to a
you,
spot.
turn
Yep.
around, jumper,
Also
easy.
incredibly strong.
He's so strong. He is.
I think there was a play in that game where Tyler he tried to like go up on him with the ball, like he pump faked him, and the second he pulled his arms up, Kawhi just like palmed the ball,
Yeah.
and Tyler tried to like rip through, and he was like, wait,
No,
I can't wait rip through.
there is no rip
Never had a
through.
chance, Tyler.
Yeah, he is the only thing not strong about him are the joints in his knees. Other than that,
Sure.
he is just an animal. There's some other stuff that I do want to mention from this game before we get into the real juicy storyline here. We had 11 blocks this game, which was our season high. Our last season high was 5, and we had 9 blocks in the first half. So it was a block party. Wiggins had a few of those. It was really exciting to see.
Hmm.
Also another stat I saw, which is insane. I almost didn't make sense. Davion Mitchell in this game recorded the highest true shooting percentage in a game ever in NBA history for a player who had a double double.
Well, he was 6 of 6, no?
Yeah, let's see
And
real
four
quick.
from three. I'm pretty sure that was
Uh,
fast.
Davion Mitchell. Yeah, 6 of 6, 4 of 4 from 3. Exactly right. With 12
12
assists.
assists. Yeah, I mean, that's just an insanely high level of hoops.
That's, yeah, I'm like, man, when he gets going, it's something. And they were calling him the head of the snake after this game in the post game press
Yeah,
conference. Like, they were really bigging him up. They love Davion. I mean, I love Davion.
he's good for the
He's a
team.
Heat player. In the postgame too, Norm was making it very clear that if they don't put Davion first team all defense, that something's wrong.
That's not gonna happen. But hey,
We're
I
not gonna no.
appreciate. Yeah, I appreciate the hype.
We don't get that kind of respect around here. But He really is so annoying defensively.
He's a pest. Also, he's great at drawing that foul on on moving screens, trying to get like in
Yeah.
between, wedge between the player and the screener,
I don't
where
know
he
how he
forces the
does
ref
that.
to make him. He forces the ref to make usually because that's usually a play where every center is moving a little bit,
Yeah.
but the way he wedges himself in between them, it makes the ref make a call because he's getting like pushed off his spot.
It's like if
When
he
you
like
don't make
speeds
that
up like the
effort,
step. Yeah.
that's all
He
effort. Because if you
it
don't make
is.
that effort and you just go up around it, you're never gonna get that call. But if you make it a point to like, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
get to
run
that
into
ball.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
run into it. They're gonna make that call.
Yeah. Like either they're gonna have to hip check him or he's getting the ball, and then they hip check him and he gets
Correct.
the foul, which
Correct.
is
Yeah, it's,
incredible.
I'm sure Spo gets off on that.
One more stat I do want to throw at us before we get to the really fun part of this, or sad, or both. Uh, I was looking this up just because it's like we keep seeing it. The Heat right now are top 2 in the league in forcing late shot clock shots. In terms of people getting their offense, getting their shot off within the last
Mm-hmm.
4 seconds of the shot clock. I went and kept doing a deep dive on this. This took me a while. We cause right now, this was before last night's game, which we had 4 shot clock violations that we forced last night's game. We forced 0.76 shot clock violations per game. If you were to look at teams just in the whole league, how often teams are called for a shot clock violation, if you saw a team that was getting 0.76 shot clock violations per game, they would be tied for 4th in the league, or just under 4th in the league. So there are 4 teams that are tied for 9th. There's a bunch of teams tied for 4th and 5th in this league.
Okay.
The teams are around that 0.8, 0.7 shot clock violations per game, and we're forcing teams to get them. And last night's game, this is going to raise that amount. We caused 4 against the Mavericks shot clock violations, and it's just something I'm keeping an eye on throughout the season.
It
That
shows that their defense makes you run like it makes you run your offense. You have to go through different passes and they make you work for your shots.
no easy buckets. Those
No
aren't
easy buckets.
defensive
Yeah.
stats that necessarily show up like when you're talking about a Bam for depoy case that we'll get into a little
Mm-hmm.
later. Those aren't stuff that really comes up, but it is part of just a really solid defense playing on a string at times.
Yep.
So that was just exciting, something I'm going to be tracking throughout the year. But the real story from this game, Chris Paul.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't love it. I'm going to be honest, I don't love it. As a huge Chris Paul fan, that the disrespect.
It's funny. I was having this conversation during the game. I was like, it's so sad to see Chris Paul in this situation. Like he was getting garbage time minutes. In the third quarter, the starters came out flat for the Clippers. Ty Lue pulled all the starters,
Yeah.
and then in come in for Joe Blows and Chris
And
Paul,
Chris Paul. Yeah.
and it was just like, man,
And
this is what they
I
got Chris Paul doing
I had wrote down in a note too. He was getting memed because there was like that classic meme from years ago when Chris
down
Paul
to cut the lead down to 36 or something like
33.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Paul has to cut the lead to 33, but he was really trying out there. Like he was
No, he was.
orchestrating.
I think he was part of the reason that they were able to kind of make a little run there.
Yeah.
He
He's like,
kind of,
we're still playing basketball. We got 2
yeah,
quarters
yeah.
left.
No, he wasn't going through the motions at all. Sad to see.
He is a Clippers legend. You
Yeah,
bring him back for a retirement tour and you can't even let him retire.
tough.
That's just
And the way they went about it, like if you told me over time they kind of, hey, we agreed that it was best if we send him somewhere where he's gonna have a chance to play more meaningful basketball, something like that. But it was overnight. It happened at 3 in the morning. They
so.
were
This is
just
the
like,
funny.
yeah,
This is the really funny part when you start digging into the story a bit, because all the sources are starting to put out their parts. So
mhm.
after that game, the Clippers were stuck at the Miami airport for
I
nearly
saw
6 hours due to mechanical issues. So that game ended, what do you want to say, around 10 p.m., 11 p.m.?
10:30, let's say.
Yep. So 6 hours after that, that puts us at around 4 a.m., right?
Mm-hmm.
So that report that he was sent home comes out around 3. So they're stuck at the airport together as a team.
And they were like, hey,
And Chris Paul is known, as much as I love Chris Paul, he is known for being an asshole. He speaks his mind, which, I mean, fuck you, Clippers. But he was probably getting into them like, what the hell are we doing out here? We're not trying. We're not playing hard enough. And they were all just so fed up. They're like, just go home. Just go home, man.
hey, just go home, bud.
And I just
Which
wish,
also is very soft.
that's so soft. That's
That's very soft.
like, you guys do need to play better. You guys suck. You have Kawhi Leonard and Chris Paul. And I don't care. Yeah, you've had these injuries, you've had yada yada. You have supposedly one of the best coaches in the league in Tyronn Lue. You have Zubac on your team. Play better basketball. Play better basketball.
They're underperforming. They should not be as bad as they are.
No, it's just it shouldn't be. They shouldn't be getting blown out by teams in the way that they are. I mean, this is a team that legitimate people around the NBA thought had a chance to make it deep in the playoffs,
Yep.
and they most likely will not make the playoffs. That's
Not in that West.
yeah. I did read that some people were like, oh well, the Chris Paul thing, like it works better on young players because they take it more seriously. They're like respecting the old head, whereas on this team full of old players, it's like, yo, like
We we know the deal.
we know, but it's like, do you know? Because you're not really showing that you know.
I mean, you got hard. I mean, I just don't like that team. They gotta
No,
blow it
it's
up.
they gotta do something there. They gotta just trade those people. And also the two legends of the Clippers, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin,
Mm-hmm.
both now have no
Severed
relationship.
ties with the organization.
How
I
do
don't
you
know if
run your organization to the point where you're both your legends of recent time hate you?
did you see Chris Paul's IG story? I think he posted he was on FaceTime with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. You know, they were just talking incredible amount of
Oh
shit.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Incredible amount of shit.
There was a post I saw that's like the Lakers have the chance to do the funniest thing. I think like January 19th, they would be eligible to sign Chris Paul if he got waived. And then they play the Clippers soon after that. So I I'm rooting for that. That would be wonderful. Let him get one last game home in LA.
But they haven't cut him, have they?
No, they just sent him home, which is
They
even
just sent
crazier.
him home. Well,
He's not
yeah,
cut, he's not waived, they don't have a trade yet.
yeah.
They're just like, yo, we don't even they're on a road trip right now.
Hey, they just didn't want him around.
No. The plane was going, I think they have a game in Charlotte. There might be one game before that, but the plane was going to a different place. And they're like, yo, Chris, you're catching a different plane to LA. You're
It's 100% what you said. He was probably at the airport bitching up a storm. He was like, "Hey,
chirping.
what is this? Is you guys suck. This is horrible. What the hell are we doing?" And you're like, "Hey,
Hey,
I
I
got a
just,
cab for you."
supposedly there's rumors, yeah, that Ty Lue and Chris Paul were not on speaking terms for several weeks.
That's why I saw that he wanted to meet with Ty Lue, and Ty Lue wouldn't meet with him.
How are you not on speaking terms with your coach?
Also, I think Ty Lue's out the door on that job as well.
He has to be at this point.
You
It's
know who
not
I
the
think they should give a look? I think Chris Quinn. That would be a good job for Chris Quinn.
man. I mean, I'd hate to lose Quinny, but that would be cool.
He's
That'd be
due
cool
for a
for
job,
him.
man. He every offseason he always does like one or two interviews for head coaching gigs. He's bound to get one.
And I feel like teams get so used to this like recycling old coaches.
They love that.
Give
Love
give
that.
new blood a talent. There's so much new blood around the league that's been proving themselves. The coach of the
Correct.
Nets has been doing well. Mark
Correct.
Dagnall was a young
Look at all
coach.
these young coaches that are starting to like make a name for themselves. This guy from Toronto.
Yeah, the Toronto Darko. He's
Yeah,
been
these are all like new coaches. You don't have to recycle Doc Rivers. Every time that there's like a coaching search, D'Antoni's name comes up. I don't think he even wants to coach.
no
They're like, oh,
Van
you got like a
Gundy comes up.
Van Gundy. Like, dude, just hire new guys.
And you have to, the trick is, this is the part where franchises can't do it. You have to actually like give them some leeway and some time to
Sure, it
grow.
can't be a 1 year like, oh, see what you could do, unless the team is like ready made to compete, which is not
Yeah.
that's not very common
No.
for
But
contending teams to be looking for coaches.
not normally, not normally. But yeah, it's like it can't be the 1 year and then your star player's like, hey, I don't really know if I like the
You
vibes.
had the second pick in the draft, you had the worst record in the league, and you're like, we want this coach to win 50 games this season.
Yeah, it's like
That's not
that's
gonna happen.
no, you need to give your coach time to figure it out and to gain the trust of the players. But maybe they're gonna this would be the best turn of events. This would actually, I think, give the Clippers the most respect in the world. This would
Hmm.
turn a negative into the best positive. They sent him home because they're actually talking to him in the offices right now, and they're like, "Hey, we're firing Tyronn Lue. How would you like to be the head coach of the Clippers?"
So they sent him home and they kind of like bring him back, but as the head coach.
As the head coach, they're like, "We understand the players didn't like it because they're like, you're a bench guy. Well, now you're not a bench guy.
You're
Now
the
you're the
guy.
head coach. You're
Yeah,
the coach."
yeah. And honestly, in that situation, imagine they go on a run and they start playing really good basketball and they win the championship with Chris Paul as the head coach and he gets his first ring that way.
That, that would be they
What a
have an
story.
opportunity. They have an opportunity to do the funniest thing. Fire Tyronn Lue. James Harden and Kawhi are probably laughing like, haha, we got his ass sent home. And then they get a
No,
text like, "Yo, I'm hearing Chris Paul might be the head coach of the Clippers." And it's like, "Oh fuck, what did we do?" But
that would be nice.
truly, to not be on speaking terms with your coach is just so wild. It reminds me, this is unrelated but related, just the level of awkwardness that people might not realize this exists. When I was in high school, my freshman year, we had a teacher, Miss McAllister, and she was so upset at our class because we were hooligans that she did not speak to us for 2 weeks. We'd get to class and she'd have the instructions for the day written on the board, and she would sit at her desk and not say a word for 2 weeks. If we raised our hand to use the bathroom, she'd give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, but there were no words. And it was 2 weeks of just silence. And that was, I still remember this. And this was
Honestly,
15 years
I
ago.
respect that though.
No, it was
That's
crazy.
that's a great move.
So you guys want to fuck around? No one's talking. No one. Not even me. It was the silence was deafening. You just walk into the class and you could hear every footstep. There was no room for
That's a lady
laughter.
that's fed up.
Yeah, she was not happy with us. I will say we were not great students.
Yeah, you guys probably sucked.
No, we were terrible. I mean, you've got a bunch of 14-year-olds reading like Shakespeare and stuff.
Sure.
Like, come on. But yeah, it was awkward. I can't imagine being in a professional setting where your person who is paid to instruct you does not want to speak to you. That's
That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough scenes. But one last thing I do want to say: would you trade for Kawhi if you're the Heat? Would you
Yes.
make a move? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You would
Yes.
do it.
I think we have the perfect package.
Yeah.
Nico Jovic and Terry Rozier.
And some picks. Give them. We could send them. We could send them a pick or two.
I'll send them first round and a second rounder.
Yeah. They like you guys are desperate. You need something. Something to look
You
forward
get
to.
your first round pick back.
What if
You
they
get
really
Nico
wanted
Jovic.
Kasparis?
No, I mean, man, do you think that Kawhi Leonard gives you a chance to compete for a championship this year?
It's the health question, right? It's the health question. I think
If you think he does, because you don't need Kasparis this year.
no, if you promise me that Kawhi can play through the playoffs, yeah,
I mean, there's no promises. He's such
no,
a
that's the
weird
hard.
guy. I don't
Yeah,
think that he would do it just because he came off the whole Jimmy Butler thing, where it was like also a very strange guy. Kawhi is weird,
yeah.
and Kawhi will look at you and say, "I'm not gonna play for a month and a half for right now."
Oh, is the issue too that we already have a quiet guy on the team in Andrew Wiggins,
Correct.
and
You
you
can't have
can't
two
have
of them.
two quiet
You
guys,
can't have two.
two
They're both
stoics.
autistic. No, let's just say they're autistic,
They're a little
and
also
not in a negative way.
the broadcast during this game, I wrote this down several times. They tried to refer to Andrew Wiggins as Quiet Storm, like a nickname for him.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. He was quite the storm last night.
yeah, I wrote down in my notes when they first said it, I'm like, this nickname sucks. And then 3 quarters later, I tried to like bring it in. I'm like, oh, Quiet Storm with a. It doesn't work. We're not doing that.
Was that the Heat broadcast?
The Heat broadcast, yeah, they called him the Quiet Storm.
Eric Reed has he could take the liberties because he has job security.
He shoots his shot. Look,
He can say whatever he wants.
yeah, he coined Jaime Highway, so he's already
Jaime
up
Highway
for the
was
year.
good. I like
Yeah.
when Simone was actually hitting threes earlier in the season. He would start speaking Italian.
Yes, yes, benissimo. Like
Yes,
that was good.
that was
He
good.
also turned a kaboom into a kabam with a bam
Kabam.
three.
I like the kabams. Look,
No,
and
I
every
mean
once in a while he'll have a dud.
he'll have a dud. He'll have a dud. Quiet Storm. I'm sorry, Reed. We're just not doing that one. For better or worse, Andrew Wiggins will forever be known as Maple Jordan. That name.
I wish Eric Reed would call him Maple Jordan.
It sucks because Shea Gilgeous really is like the new Maple
No,
Jordan.
he is actually Maple Jordan.
But the name is Andrew Wiggins. Like he was the original Maple Jordan.
But in 2014-15, Maple Jordan, he was such a thing. Wow, that's incredible.
Draft Day by Drake is still one of my favorite songs ever, and neither of those players that are mentioned in that song
No,
lived up to
well,
expectations.
I would say Wiggins had a more successful career than Menzel.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 1000%. But yeah, it's not to the point where you make a whole song about like this is going to be
Wiggins.
it.
I don't
We
know,
got
dude.
it.
He's pretty cool.
He is exciting. I mean, I love Wiggins. I'm the biggest Wiggins fan there is, so I'm happy about it. But we'll move into quickly going through some previews with our next 2 games, and then we'll get into the league-wide stuff. But the next game the Heat play is against the Magic. The main talking point here is that this is just kind of weird because we play them again 4 days later for the NBA Cup. some stuff to note. Desmond Bane is coming off of some heaters. He's finally kind of caught his stride. He had two 37-point games in a row against Detroit and Chicago. Chicago
Mm.
not playing great, but Detroit obviously we saw as a great defense. Um, Franz somehow is a -5 on his on-off stats for the season, and Suggs is the highest plus minus on their team, mostly because of his defense.
That makes sense.
Also, an important thing with Suggs, it's been a talk around the league. He wears his headband around his neck like a
I
dog
don't like it.
collar.
I don't
Yeah,
like it.
and then as the game progresses, he moves it up. So
What's that? What's
it's
that about?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He's trying something. He's
Also,
trying something.
it could be recently single. Also,
Oh, you're right. You're right.
he did lose his queen.
That is a big L. That's actually a huge L for Jalen Suggs.
Massive
That
L.
should yeah, poor guy. But
No, I would also be rocking my headband around my neck.
around my neck, just kill me now.
It's a sign of like just end it.
And going into this game, this is pre last night's stats. The Heat are 4th in defense, 10th in offense. Magic are 11th in defense, 12th in offense. Despite that disparity there, we're 6th and 7th in the league in net rating. So like it evens out pretty much. We're almost tied. They're a middle of the pack team in terms of pace. They're a top 6 rebounding team. They're a top 6 block team. I mean, their offense hasn't been beautiful, but their defense is always pretty gritty. Um, I'm I'm just confused about this game because I wonder how seriously are we taking the cup, and are we really trying to win this game, or are we kind of holding our cards for the next game?
I think one of these games. I think this next game. I think we blow them out. Coming off a loss against Dallas, we lost our first game of the season to Orlando. I think Friday we come out strong. And usually, what happens when you have a terrible shooting game, you come back and shoot way better.
That is true.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know what happens Tuesday. Is Tuesday a home game? No, right?
No, we played them in
In
Orlando.
for the Cup in Orlando.
Yeah, it's actually really weird. So we play in Orlando, we come back home to play the Kings, and then we play them again in Orlando
What's that
for
about?
I don't know, weird scheduling. I guess the cup
Uh,
thing is a bit of a wild card. You never really know
Also, you can get
who
tickets to a Cup game for as low as $28 right now.
in
It's a,
Orlando.
we might be. Let's go over there.
Wait, I'm actually like we'll talk about this post pod, but $28 is $28.
Insane behavior
Like
for a
that's
nationally
not
televised Cup game.
yeah, like that's actually not bad at all. That's kind of cool. Shoot, yeah, that's a benefit. It wouldn't be $28 if it was in Miami. I'll tell you that much.
No,
No, it'd be much more. But this is another team like Detroit. They score a lot of points in the paint. Hopefully they're not able to abuse the paint like Detroit did. Uh,
I already know who's gonna mess us up. It's what's this guy's name? Gogo Biatate.
yeah, man, he seems to have a thing against us. He seems to have a thing. I don't love it. But maybe I mean when he did play against us, Ware was still in
I was
that
about
like
to say that
first
he wasn't who he is now. He wasn't. He's not the Kryptonian. The Kryptonian now.
is playing a lot better. He's playing
I
a
don't. I
lot
don't think
better.
Biatate has a stands a chance against Kryptonian.
No, they just UD send Ware a little text if you can before this game, please. And I'm not. I'm look. I was really high on the Magic going into this season. I even said maybe they might be the best team in Florida. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily feel that way right now. They have played a tough schedule just like we have. They're at a similar record just like we are. They're playing better now without Paolo. I do question if Paolo's going to be back for either of these games and what that looks like as he gets reingratiated into the offense. But I I just don't fear them partially because of like they can't really shoot threes. They can get to the paint, so if we're able to prevent that, but their scoring is kind of limited in terms of what they're able to do. Um, so for me, I mean, Orlando does always play Miami great in the regular season. That's like been a thing throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna play above their weight. But I feel like if we're trying to win this one, if Powell's back, especially, I think we need Powell. I think it should be a game for the Heat. It should be a game for the Heat. Get a little two
Uh,
game winning stretch against them and the Kings, and then go into the Cup game and feel good about ourselves.
Orlando's tough, man. Orlando has also uh, who is it? Anthony Black,
Anthony
Lenny.
Black's been playing
He's looked
pretty well
better
for
this
them.
season.
Yeah.
They're tough. And Wendell
Yeah,
Carter always plays well against us too.
that is true. That is true. Yeah, I mean, they're not a bad team. They're not a bad team at all.
No. I think they're a good team, not a great team. I think they're going to struggle when it comes time to the playoffs. Uh, just because you have to be able to hit your threes at a high clip to win playoff series.
Yeah.
So
And unless you have some other cheat card, but I just don't think they're there. I don't think they're there yet. But again, we'll see. We'll see, and maybe we'll see them in person. Who knows? I don't get too amped up about an Orlando Magic game, to be honest. I want to win it just because I want to be the best team in Florida, but I'm not too worried about it. What I am interested is that this is a first game of a back-to-back, which even leads to more like, how much are we trying in this game? Are we kind of like going to pull the
so
plug early
The
if things
Kings
look
game is on
bad?
Saturday.
Saturday at home. So we play them Friday in Orlando and then come back home Saturday to play the Kings.
Luckily, that's not much of a travel.
It's not much travel, no. The Kings are also, man, they're out of their players who play the most minutes, all of them are in the negative when it comes to on off. The only one who's in the top who has a positive on off is Malik Monk, who somehow has one of the best on offs in the whole league at plus 18.3 when he's on the court.
Yeah, they gotta trade him.
Yeah, I just
They could probably get good value for him right now.
what are they doing?
I have no idea what the Kings are doing. Is Sabonis playing?
He has been playing. He's a minus 14.8 right now on off.
I don't understand how they're so bad though.
Because they don't have anyone who can shoot the three. They drafted they have Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. Did you see the story that came out with that fan who was yelling at Zach LaVine?
I saw the video. I didn't see what he was bitching about.
He was mad that it was like 4 possessions in a row where Zach LaVine played like no defense at all. He just let a guy blow by him, and he was yelling at him like, "Yo, we pay a lot of money to come to these games. Like the
And you're
least you
not
could
even.
do is try. Like
Oh
just
wow, it's
try."
crazy.
and and Zach LaVine was like, "Fuck off." And what's even crazier is that, and someone pointed this out, Westbrook was hearing this and stayed silent. And Westbrook's normally the first one to come to the defense of his teammates,
Correct.
but he was probably like,
Yeah, he was probably like, yeah, he's right. He's cooking right now.
"Yeah, like yo, maybe you should try a little bit more." I just Zach LaVine again, like he can score the ball, I guess, but what's even crazier is his on off is terrible, and it's not just the defense; the offense of the Kings is better when Zach LaVine is sitting right now.
Man, they have a bunch of guys that like I don't know what their value is. Monk is
That
probably their most valuable piece. Sabonis, I guess.
I guess. But Sabonis is so tough because he's this big who can facilitate an offense which requires a specific need, but he's not like a defensive anchor and he can't space the floor. It's a very unique situation in which like you need a team that's willing to take that. And then Zach LaVine's contract is ginormous. DeMar DeRozan is at the end of his career.
Kings fans swore that Sabonis was 10 times the player that Bam was. By the way,
Oh, oh yeah, I've heard we
the Sabonis comparison and the Zubac comparison never made sense to me.
no, George and I were talking about this. It's always everyone's always better than Bam until it's time to be better than
And it's
Bam.
time to be better than Bam.
It's they're not. I'm sorry. I don't care. Sabonis is not better than Bam. I'll go as far as to say, look, Lauri Markkanen is not better than Bam. He has not proven it. Oh, he scores a shit ton while playing on the Utah Jazz.
Yeah,
Okay.
he puts up numbers on bad teams.
Yeah, like, and I'm not saying that he maybe if he goes to a good situation, then he can get the opportunity to prove himself.
Sure, but do it though.
But I believe in players have to prove it. Until then, no, I'm gonna go with the guy who's
Also, he's had a sneaky like people don't think about this, but look at his playoff resume. Like he's been to the finals twice. He has a bunch of playoff moments, bunch
while
of
young.
yeah, like and I'm talking about like big moments, the block on Tatum,
Yeah,
the dunk in the finals against the Nuggets. He did it. He was injured in the Lakers the bubble finals,
the
but
bubble
he
run.
was
Yeah,
I mean, he was instrumental to getting there
he's been the second best player on a finals team
on a
twice.
finals team twice.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
more than a lot of other players can say, than most other players can say. And that was when he was even younger. He's better now than he was then. So,
100%.
yeah, I'm tired of that. I'm not, I don't really
That
agree with that.
narrative
And
is tired.
it's also the Kings, man. It sucks because they were so exciting. They had that like the beam season, the first one. They were
It
winning
makes no
games.
sense. Like they had one good season. They were like, oh, everyone's like, oh, the Kings are back. This is great.
And then they just ruined
And then I
it.
was like, no, we're not back.
These are just some players that they've had on their team that they've given away for peanuts. Jake LaRavia, this is the least of the names on the list,
Sure.
who is now playing great on the Lakers. They lost him for peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
They gave away Davion Mitchell, who is now one of the best point guards in the league. I don't know if people remember this one. They traded Halliburton for Sabonis, which people thought was a win-win trade. Sorry to tell you guys, Pacers won that trade. Halliburton is better. And they traded away Fox for, like, I think a pick. maybe 2 picks. They
It was a series of unfortunate events. They chose between Halliburton and Fox, and then they ended up trading Fox anyways.
and, and you didn't get anything really back for him. Not like much. I just
What
and
they
then
get
you
back? What
and
they
then
get
you
back for Fox? Couple
the,
picks.
I have this saved actually for the Fox trade. They got back Zach LaVine from Chicago. They got a second round pick they got 3 second round picks.
Wait, they didn't get a first round
Um
pick.
they got 1 first round pick from San Antonio and 1 first round pick from Minnesota in 2031. They got the San Antonio 2027 first round pick. I'm going to tell you right now that that first round pick's not going to be worth much.
No,
It's also protected. It's a 1 to 16 protected pick, or 1 to 14 protected pick. I'm sorry. So it's
that's bad business. Who's
you
their
got 2
GM,
first
man?
round picks. One of them's in 2031.
That
Like
guy should be in the same category as bad GMs as Dumars in New Orleans.
they also got a City Sissoko in this trade. Just so
Never
you
met
know.
the bloke.
Yeah. So that's what they got back for De'Aaron Fox. Also, they traded away Kevin Herter in this trade. So part of what they got back was including them
I
sending
like
Kevin
Werder.
Herter too. Yeah,
Yeah, I like him.
I like Herter too.
What the hell did they do?
They traded the Aaron Fox and Kevin Herter for Zach LaVine and 2-ish first round picks and some seconds. It's just not.
You know what the Zach Levine prototype is? It's the Terry Rozier one, where like he's a looter in a riot, where he's putting up great numbers, not great numbers, but he's putting up like high volume numbers on a bad team, and people are like, "Oh, this guy, he could be nasty for us." No, he's not
Would
a
you
winning
trade the
player.
Would you trade the Terry Rozier contract for Zach LaVine?
I would
Just that contract, just
just
whatever.
yeah, sure,
I guess
I guess, but
we haven't.
he does nothing for me.
No, I will say we haven't done this draft yet. We're definitely going to do this during the All-Star break, like you brought up last time you're on here. But he does make the all handsome team still.
Yes,
He's
yes,
still putting up numbers in that regard. But that's about it.
yeah, but that you know
You got to
that's
have
just for the
something more to your
boys.
game than that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just for the boys. That's not
that's just
doing
for the
anything
boys.
else. I did want to just quickly fly by. We don't need to go too crazy into it. It's quarter of the season. We're about 20-ish, 21 games in. Just who you have and who we have for some of these awards. We'll start with the boring ones. Or I mean, none of these are boring. We're also not doing Clutch Player of the Year because it's not real.
It's a
Uh,
ridiculous thing.
yeah, I don't care. The Clutch Player of the Year is the MVP. How about that one? that's that is the guy who is most clutch. The Sixth Man of the Year. I'm gonna just say who I have first. I've got Jaime Jaquez Jr., baby. I don't care. Uh, One of the highest plus minuses in the league while coming off the bench. He's averaging 16.2 points, 6.3 rebounds, 5.3 assists. He's made the 6th most layups in the league. The only non-center who scored more points in the paint is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Good company. Good company.
That's
I'm gonna go with Jaime as well. I do think he has to get back to where he was
he has to
playing a
pick it back
couple.
up. He's
He has
slowing
to pick it
down.
back up. Could be injury, could be a lot of things, getting reintegrated with Tyler and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if he keeps up what he was doing for the first month and a half of the season, there's no reason he shouldn't be the sixth man.
The Jaime Highway in and of itself is a reason to win Sixth Man of the Year, I think.
The Jaime Highway is gonna clear up again one of these days, and
It's gonna go off. Maybe against
yeah,
the Kings. We'll see.
maybe.
Next, who do you have for Rookie of the Year? If the season ended today, who's your Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the year. Hmm. You stumped me here. You go first.
I'm gonna go with Con Knipple. This is an important part of why I'm saying this. I'm half joking. This is a written by
Well,
John Hollinger that he was in the Charlotte Hornets locker room before Monday's game against the Nets and bumped into a reporter. Before long, they were discussing ex-Net Derek Favors in his 2010 draft class, from which he was picked 3rd overall. They were trying to remember who went second between Favors and top pick John Wall. And then a voice from the corner blurts out, Evan Turner. It wasn't a PR staffer or a Wizard assistant, or a Wizened assistant coach. It was a Hornets player. It was Con Knipple, who was 4 years
what
old at the
a
time of this
pull.
draft.
What a pull.
Certified
Wow.
ball knower. I don't look. This means nothing, but it also means everything.
That means a lot.
That means a lot. Just why do you know who the second pick in the 2010 draft was?
I already liked him before. This just
That's crazy. That's really
elevated him.
cool.
Also, I think he does have a legit shot at Rookie of the Year. Um, just also his Edgecombe has missed a lot of games.
And he's simmered down. He's simmered down a little bit.
He's simmered down
He
a little
started off
bit.
the year hot. They're reintegrating Paul George, Jared McCain, and Embiid. So I think he might have a comeback. He had all the free time in the world, and now it's like, hey, we have three other players who need the ball.
Also, we have
So
to think we're less than a quarter of this into the season, I think, or just
we're
about a
about a
quarter in,
quarter, just
about
about.
a
Yeah,
quarter in. And Cooper Flag is starting to figure it out a little bit.
he's he likely will win the award if
I think
he
he has the best shot.
if he
If I
keeps
had to
on
pull up
what
the
he's
odds,
doing.
yeah, if I had to pull up the odds, he's probably still favored.
Yeah,
But anything can happen. You never know. Sometimes with bad teams and rookies, they'll get shut down into like a third, 3/4 of the way into the season.
that's true
Some
too. Yeah,
so
there's a
we'll
lot
have
of
to
weird
see
stuff
who
that happens.
we'll have to see who plays more, who ends up playing more. But Conquerable has a chance,
He's
certainly.
made more catch and shoot threes than anyone in the league other
No,
than
he's
Larry
cold.
Markkinen.
That's
Yeah,
a cold ass white boy. That's what that is.
he is, and it's crazy because I mean, even in the games we were playing against the Hornets as the Heat, they're trusting him in late game situations. They're just putting the ball in his hands and letting him cook. He's averaging 18.4, 5.7 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, and he's been like a closer on for a team.
Very
It's
unfortunate that he's on the Charlotte Hornets,
yeah, yeah, that's tough.
where teams go to die.
Yeah, I don't imagine him and the Mellow Ball are like a fit personality wise, but maybe
No,
they'll work it out. Um we'll move to the next one. This is most improved player. I was tempted to put Jaime Jaquez again,
you're right.
but I'm not going to do that. Do you have someone who comes to mind for most improved?
Most improved. Um,
There's been some people who are talking Ryan Rollins. There's been some people saying Denny Avdija, who is also a good candidate here.
the
I
thing
I
with the award is always like, uh, yeah, I think Bill Simmons had this point because when they brought up Jaime Jaquez, because they were like, that's someone that was good, had a bad season, and now is good again.
yeah,
I don't think that you could consider that for that award. Someone like Ryan Rollins though
is actually crazy.
is
Like
the right type of candidate because it's someone that came off of you know minimal production to now being I'm assuming is the second or third highest
he
scorer.
was let go by the Wizards. Do you want to know why partially he was let go?
Yeah, let me tell me.
He was caught shoplifting from a Target on 7 different occasions. This was while he was an NBA player. He was
What's his problem?
he was robbing Targets while he was the total values of items in each incident was less than $1,000. He was just robbing a couple stuff here and
What
there from Target.
what the hell?
Yeah. So
Okay.
that was part of the reason the Wizards let him go.
And
So
what was he scoring last? What was his average last season?
let's look at
I
Ryan
gotta see the
Rollins'
jump. The
stats.
jump is probably insane.
Yeah, I mean he's playing great for the Bucks. Let's tell you right now. Last season he was getting 14.6 minutes a game. He is now getting 32 minutes a game, which
Wow,
is
a
quite
lot more.
crazy. He was doing 6 points a game. He's now at nearly 18. He's averaging double blocks 1.6 compared to 0.8. He's averaging almost 6 assists where he was averaging only like about 2 last year. The rebounds have doubled. And the shooting percentage is actually about the same. So he's just doing all of the like shooting the same splits just on way higher volume, shooting way more.
He has to be favored for that award right now.
It's for me, it was between him and who I ended up going with currently is Jalen Duran, just for the Pistons, just because he's kind of taken an interesting leap. He's averaging 19 points, 11.5. The Pistons are obviously one of the best teams in the league right now. Um, He's being able to score in isolation, which is tough for a big man. He's in the 90th percentile right now, actually, among all NBA players in scoring in isolation. Uh, so I mean, it's too early. You gotta because a lot of these improvements can be flashes in the pan. Any of these
Hmm.
guys can start dropping off, but I like Duren. I mean, it's hard because a lot of the credit I think is going to go to Cade for their winning, but Jalen Duren has been playing pretty well. He's a
I
scary
think
guy.
I also think like he took a leap certainly, but he was already kind of a high quality player.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
It's a good option. It's a good option. But my favorite kind of like player for these awards are someone
Is
that went from like not playing to now all of a sudden being like a consistent guy on a team.
it's the tough thing, like to your point with this, like the criteria for it is so odd because people kind of expected a jump for this guy. So
Correct. Yeah.
it's not it's not a surprise necessarily, but it is nice to
Mm-hmm.
see.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at with that. I think we're both gonna have the same person for this next one. Maybe not. Who do you have for coach of the year?
I don't want to be biased. I'm trying to give it like a good thought here.
Nah,
Who I think will win the award, probably JB Bickerstaff.
he might.
Who I think should win the award, Spoelstra.
It's just come on already. Come on, just
The only thing is, I think he's gonna have to finish with certainly 50 plus wins.
we have to be
The
top
team,
four. Yeah,
the team's gonna have to get 50 wins. They're capable of 50 wins. I don't know if they're actually gonna get there. It's all dependent. If they could somehow cross over that 50-point threshold and they're top three in the East, let's say, I think it has to go to him.
I just think,
This is a team
and
that people were saying we're not even gonna be in the play-in.
the over under was set at 37 games for us.
If they, I mean, yeah, if they exceed that by 13 to 15 games,
It's just I feel like the narrative always changes for this award in whatever way doesn't give it to Spo. Like it's
mm-hmm,
normally the team that exceeds the expectations the most.
mm-hmm.
We're exceeding expectations. We're also playing a completely different system, reinvented our whole offense, reinvented the way we play.
Now
He got
this
everybody
year
to buy in.
it'll be whoever had the best record, who has the best record, and
They'll
it's not gonna
just
be Dagnall.
no, they can't give it to Dagnall again. But it's just like
The team is stacked. I could
everyone
coach
knows
that
he's
team.
the best coach in the league. Everyone knows Spo's the best coach. It's just like
That's what I love when those like GM polls come out every year that all the GMs voted Spo as the best coach. Within their own like coaching poll, all the
yeah,
coaches vote Spo.
Spo. And it's like, can we just stop messing
And it's like,
around?
okay, so the only people that don't respect Spo are the media members, the
The
voters.
me- the media, because they're like, oh well, but Detroit had the best rating, and it's like, well, yeah, they also have Cade Cunningham. So maybe just give. I hope we can get to 50 wins. I hope we can win it this year. I
Well,
do
the
think he
year
has a
that the year
chance
that
this
didn't
year.
make sense to me was the year that the 2022 year when we had PJ Tucker and Kyle Lowry, that we were first in the East. How did he not win that award? That team
Because
was not projected to be anything. They were first in the East.
they gave it to Monty Williams for turning around the Suns. Meanwhile, Monty Williams is no longer a coach in the NBA. Maybe that award for the Suns, maybe the reason they won so many games was more because of Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
It doesn't make sense, bro. It really does not.
They're just gonna change it no matter what. It's I really I mean I just hope he can get one. Not that it matters, like he's certified,
No,
like
but I feel like it'll add to his.
and so we can stop the conversation of every time it's like, oh, coach is the best, Spo's the best coach in the league. It's crazy how he hasn't won a coach of the year yet, just so that can be done already. It's like, oh, he has one. He got one. That's all.
Yeah.
Just tick that off. But yeah, I hope he wins it. This is we're also Miami ranks first in spread differential. This is the team's average point differential relative to what Vegas has had for us for every game. We are outperforming Vegas better than any other team in the league. So while having one of the toughest schedules in the league. I just I love Spo and he deserves it. Let's give it to him. Uh, Defensive player in the year of the season cut off so far, and I will say, I think Wemby hasn't played enough games right now, and I
No,
think
he
it's
hasn't
easy
played
to
enough,
say.
and he's not gonna play enough games.
Yeah, I'm like if he plays enough games, it's his award. But I don't. It's gonna be tough. He's gonna have to like go through a very long stretch of not missing anything.
I
If
think you have to play 60 more than 65 games, is it?
yeah, I don't know how many. Yeah, you have to make the 65 cutoff, and he's already missed quite a
I
few.
think
So it's
I think he might by the time he gets back, he'll be under that.
yeah,
It's Bam.
that's what I'm with.
It's
That's what I'm
Bam.
with.
It's Bam.
I
It's I didn't want to talk about this. I get so worked up about it.
there was a highly regarded podcast content creator. You know of them. I don't want to say their name because I actually really like them and I value everything they do. But they got to the point where they were getting so in the weeds because with this award, it ends up just being a bunch of like metric stuff, like advanced data.
Mm-hmm.
And they were getting so into the weeds that they were discussing whether Hardenstein was even a candidate for the award this year
Right.
based on this play. And
Right.
I'm like, what are we
That's
what are we
that's
doing
you're not
here?
watching the games.
Like we're
They
starting
have a
to
good
get,
defense, though. Thunder have a very good defense, and Hardenstein, sure, it holds his own in that defense, in that in that
but it's the
system.
whole team.
But it's
It's
the
the
whole team. Bam
it's
is the system.
that's why I'm like, we're getting to the point where it's like, if you really think that Hardenstein, because you have to like take it out of, stop getting into the analytics too much. You obviously use it, and I'm going to reference some
You
numbers
can
here.
reference them, yes, but
But
no,
like, are
that's
you willing
ridiculous.
to say that in your heart of hearts, Hardenstein is the defensive player of this year? No, man. There's not even that's not a conversation. That's not. Bam is the most switchable.
Look what Bam was doing to Anthony Davis last night.
That's like switches onto anybody. Can guard centers who are bigger than him. Can guard small forwards who are faster than him. Can guard point guards. Can guard shooting guards. Also never fouls. barely ever fouls. He's only averaging right
You
now,
never see him in foul trouble.
he's averaging 1.5 fouls per game and committing just 0.7 shooting fouls per 100
For
possessions, which is
his level of aggression on defense and how he gets put onto switches with guards, for him to only foul 1.5 times a game
that's
is
insane.
insane behavior.
He's top 6 in opponent field goal differential, so players shoot worse when they're being defended by him. This is
Which
amongst
is
players who
also a skewed stat because players just don't shoot on him.
That's another thing. So this is amongst players who defend at least 10 shots a game and have played at least 14 games. He makes them shoot 6.6% worse. Uh, he is one of the best at guarding the ISO. His defensive on-off numbers get skewed because we're like we were talking about earlier. They have to stagger him and Ware's minutes all the time,
Hmm.
and Ware's been playing pretty well defensively too. So it's like you don't see it, but I'm tired of it. Just
I also think Bam's at his best when he's next to where he could kind of float around and
yeah.
Ware could protect the paint.
I think
He's
if they can
lethal
really
in that.
unlock that, yeah, if
He's
it's just
lethal.
exciting.
Because imagine
I
every time you turn or you get a switch, it's Bam in your face.
he's well deserving of the award, man. I mean, it's too soon in the season. We'll see what happens, what continues, but I'm
And
just
this
like,
also is, I think, his last. Now that
yeah,
Wemby, I don't think is going to hit that game amount.
yeah, he
I
needs
think this
to.
is his last good chance at this.
I think his numbers will start to look better too as our schedule weakens up and we're playing worse teams. His defensive impact numbers for
Yep.
those, for the nerds out there,
Again, it
is going
just
to look
goes back
better.
to it all depends on the record at the end of the season.
That too. We need to have a good record as well. You can't win it if
You
you're
can't be
bottom
you can't be
a
up for
playing
these
team.
awards and be a playing team. It's very
Sadly.
hard at that point.
And bringing up that point when it comes to record, we're going to talk about MVP. I'm going to just say it. It's too soon. It's an incredibly close race. We'll see what actually happens. I have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander as the MVP right now.
There's no way you can't give it to Shea.
He's
They're
21-1.
21-1, and he's
Like,
putting up great numbers.
and if you look at the advanced stats, almost everything Jokic is going to win. Jokic is an advanced stat monster. Shout out to Jokic. He is the best player in the NBA right now, in my opinion. Shea plays defense at a better rate than Jokic does too, which I think
Hmm.
is important. Um, this is if he finishes the season with this current usage rate and turnover rate, the only player who's had a usage rate this high and a turnover rate this low, Michael Jordan. He's always with the ball in his hands and he never turns it over. He's shooting the 3 now, too.
Where does
He's
Shea rank if he comes out of this season with another ring and another
and an
MVP?
MVP. So, and
Where does he? Where do you put him then?
I'm glad that you asked that question because it lets me get to something that I wasn't sure I wanted to share yet. This was a late night thought, a
Hmm.
midnight munchies thought. And are we about to see someone who might enter the GOAT conversation? Because it's too soon,
It's
but
too soon, but I was also thinking about this the other day. Like, at what point do you start to look at Shea as like a top 5 point guard of all time?
because
And
they
then
have
you
a
start
roster that's ready to win at least a couple of more championships. It's hard. They have to do
they
it.
could easily rattle off by the time this is all said and done, minimum 3 championships.
And that's a lot. And he's still super young.
And you
And
add
he's
a
still
couple
super.
MVPs, a couple scoring titles, all the
The
other
numbers are
accolades that come with it.
crazy.
The numbers stay consistent. I don't know how you don't look at
He
him
just
at
broke Wilt's scoring. Well, one of Wilt's records for scoring 20 points in a row. He's at like 95 games of scoring 20 points in a
I
row.
saw the graphic that it was like first place
Will,
Shea or yeah, Will and then Shea or yeah, I think this was active players
oh,
that
you're
I
looking
saw.
at the current players
Yeah.
with,
It was
yeah,
Shea at 90 something and then it drops down to 15 or 19
yeah,
Tyrese Maxey and then 15 Tyler Hero.
yeah. I think people are really underselling this record, but like 95 games in a row, 94, 95 right
He
now.
walks into 20 points. I mean, he
With
sleepwalks into it.
That's insane. And he has a chance. Wilt's actual record, the first place record by Wilt, I think is like 115, 119 games.
I don't see why he wouldn't be able to get it.
He could break it. He could break it, which is every day going in and knowing your star's going to score at least 20. I mean, he pretty much scores 30 every night and checks out. That's his thing. He's just doesn't even have to
Look,
play fourth quarters.
Clippers had him, by the way. And they were
They
like,
traded
no,
they traded
Paul
him and a
George,
ton of picks for Paul George. They had him in their building and they're like,
he
this
was there.
he's not going to be good enough.
Shea and Kawhi Leonard would have gotten them championship.
Man, that's so sad. Also, just want to point out too, This is from NBA.com's John Schumann. Shea has already more points in the clutch than all of last season. He has 67 points in the clutch right now. And then that's in 50 minutes, and he's committed one turnover. Actually, sorry, he has last season was 67. This season he has 80 points in the clutch. Shooting 52.4% shooting, and yeah, and he's committed one turnover in the clutch.
His stats are insane.
Yeah. He's also no player to average 30 points per game has ever had a true shooting percentage as high as Shea's, which is 0.674. That means he's on pace to produce the most efficient, high scoring season in NBA history, topping Stephen Curry's 2015-2016 season, which is the MVP, the unanimous MVP season for Curry. There's also never been a better ISO scorer in terms of points per ISO and ISOs per game than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in the NBA.
I don't know if you did you watch the starting five?
Yes, yeah.
That changed my perspective on Shea a little bit.
I love him, man.
They really like I got to see him and I was like, he's kind of a cool guy.
He's cool, though.
There's this clip that his girlfriend he was talking to his girlfriend and she was like, you scored 30 points, I think. And he's like, that's a bad game for me. That's under my average.
That's like, that's the that's the mentality this guy has. That right
That's
now,
hilarious.
wait, I'm receiving text messages from people who don't normally text me, and I just want to make sure that NBA news hasn't come out
Very good.
because okay, no, we're good. I was worried that like maybe Giannis got traded. It's a you got to be on the lookout. Which
I think
actually,
the injury was scared me yesterday.
so two things. We'll move on from the awards. We'll just quickly talk about some stuff going on. First thing being Giannis. It just came out by Shams Charania that Giannis is open to playing for other teams other than the Knicks. It's well beyond the Knicks in terms of who he's open to. Uh,
I also saw Windhorst said that the Bucks wouldn't make a sweepstakes, that they would send him to his preferred destination. I don't know how true that is.
I think they're gonna work with him, but I mean if you're the Bucks, you have to get something back.
I think the preferred situation is always work with the star, put together a list of like 4 or 5 teams, and then we'll go out and see
Who can actually
who puts together the best package of those 4 or 5 teams.
yeah.
But you got to have like somewhat of a bidding war, unlike what the Dallas Mavericks did, and they just said, "No, he's a Lakers."
And I think some reports have come out that they're not interested in Carl Anthony Towns, trading for Carl Anthony Towns from the
No, I
Knicks.
wouldn't be either.
So it's tough. They don't really have a lot of picks to send out either because they sent them all for Macau. Regarding the injury, Brian Sutter, who's a doctor on Twitter or on X, he often like goes over replays of injuries and gives
Hmm.
his opinion. And very quickly he said this was odd, didn't see anything significant when he saw Giannis's injury. So hopefully it's fine. Hopefully it's not a big deal. Just a little tweak. But man, I love that it's like it's just the way it works nowadays. Before the trade rumors came out, it was the Giannis cleared his social media.
And
And
it all happened within a couple hours.
it's someone, I think it was from the Ringer, someone brought it up. It's like after you break up, you clear all social media, but they do it before the breakup. It's like we're not even broken up yet, but I'm deleting all my pictures with you. I don't want anybody to know.
That's also like every disgruntled players on and every sports league. Their first go-to is always clearing out social
Change
media of
change the
pictures.
bio, delete
Change
the
the bio,
pictures.
delete the pictures.
Yeah, they changed their bio to like God is good, and they don't have the team
You
anymore.
know what that is? That's star wide receiver energy. That is
Yes,
there's
yeah,
because they're
yeah.
such divas. They love to after like a bad game they won't get targets or something like that. First thing they
I
go
could do
to,
more.
clear out the social media.
I'm worth more than this. But Giannis is worth more than this. Giannis is
He is. He has to be pretty frustrated with what happened there in Milwaukee.
what's interesting is like this is actually a trade that affects the championship.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
team he what
yeah,
team he
he
goes to.
depending on what team he goes to, he could instantly change the landscape.
And it's odd because he's at this age where like he's young still. He's like in his early 30s, but he's not young enough where a completely rebuilding team, I think is gonna consider it worth trading for him. You know, he's not gonna go to the Brooklyn Nets.
No,
But a lot of the good teams don't have assets right now. Like the Warriors don't have assets. Oklahoma City obviously does. The Lakers don't have enough. I saw some reported trades from the Lakers that are just they're hogwash. Uh, the Knicks don't have enough. The Spurs have enough.
the team that I think sticks out to me the most, I don't think OKC would be too interested in doing it just because they're 21-1 and they have built a chemistry with these guys that I think would be I don't know if they would go out and risk doing it. The Spurs though. If I'm the Spurs and what do you give up?
Castle and a
Picks
bunch of picks.
Castle
Harper
and
if
a
they want
bunch.
him to.
No, I think you stop at Harper.
You have to keep one of your young guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you do the either Harper or Castle, it's one or the other. And
Yeah.
picks,
Don't trade them both.
and you put some contracts in there to make the money work. I think that's then you're looking at one of your star guards, Wemby and Giannis.
Could you just their wingspan? Could you imagine
It would be
them?
impossible to score in the paint on them. The only way you would beat them is by shooting a bunch of threes.
You'd have to. It's.
You'd have to
I
shoot
mean,
50% from three.
I don't want to see that out of fear, out of just pure fear. But as an NBA fan, I think I would
That's
love
also,
to see that.
I think, the only Western Conference team that makes sense for him.
Yeah, it's
Because
tough. It's
that
I
team would be OP and could put up a fight against OKC. The
yeah.
West is do you really want to go to a conference that you're competing against OKC every year?
That's the thing. And he did say he wants to go to a big market. That's something he said in the offseason, that he wants all the Euros in a big market. And I'm
I think
like,
San Antonio is a big enough market for him.
it's big enough. I think it's a big enough team.
It's a team with also,
The Heat trade for
reputation.
him is lackluster, I will say, as
No,
much as I would
I don't
love
even I
to.
don't even want to discuss.
Yeah.
I think we have two tradable first round picks at the
Two
moment.
tradable picks.
Let's
Yeah.
I mean, why are we even we're not going to get in the same we're not going to be on
No.
the table with
Unless
these
we
people.
find a sucker who's willing to trade for one of our young guys for a bunch. Like Tyler Heroes from Milwaukee. Maybe they really want a homegrown guy.
You'd
Yeah,
have to trade like
you'd have to be Tyler Ware, Cass, and picks, like, and the two picks.
but
But like even
we'd have to redirect one of those guys to some other team that
to
is going to
get
give us
picks.
a first round pick or two. Like it
Yeah,
would have to
it's
be like we're going to somewhere else for a first round pick, and that first round pick is directed to
yeah,
Milwaukee. It would be too much. I don't know.
it's too much. It's tough. I don't see. I mean, I
The
would
only
love nothing
way, and
more
even then we found out the Dame summer that doesn't really matter. He would have to
if he
ask
declared it.
For
Yeah,
Miami and say I'm only going to Miami, which again we saw happen.
yeah. I mean, if we're on the short list, it's like you may, which I wouldn't want to do this, and I'm just spitballing here for the sake of spitballing, but like you maybe trade Wiggins to the Lakers for a pick or two because they've been wanting him. You trade Tyler to the Bucks. You trade Ware to somewhere else, like you said, for a pick or two,
And you come
and
up
then
on
you're
four first round picks and whatever
yeah,
else
then you're
with
sending 5 first round picks, Tyler and Cass to the Bucks, and you're saying like, please, like this is enough, right? And
yeah.
that's all you can really do. But
And even
I-
then that doesn't sound great.
it's I don't know, yeah, especially like depending on what those picks are, because not all first round picks are created equal. Detroit and the Hawks are interesting there. If they tried to
Again,
make a
there's a
move,
team that's first place in the Eastern Conference. Do you really want to, it's a young team also.
I think if you're Detroit, you have to do it. With how good you're playing, I think you take the big
What are you
swing.
giving up in hypothetical here for your Detroit?
Picks and Jaden Ivey. He's barely even been playing this season, and they're winning without him. You have
Yeah, but at that point, I think Milwaukee could do better than that.
That's true. That's true. It depends on how many picks they can get, but it's tough. It's also what the market is for Giannis. What like who? I mean, the team that can offer you obviously offer the most is like the OKC Thunder, but I don't think they're gonna do it.
I
I
don't
don't think
but look, and if they could decide here, like you said, I think you threw out a package of what was
Isaiah
it?
Hardenstein, Lou
Harden's
Dort, and like five or
for
six
5 or 6
picks,
first round picks.
good
Uh,
first round picks too.
at that point, uh, teams are gonna have to start boycotting
Yeah,
because what do you
this
do
would be
then?
this would be worse than the KD to Golden State thing, right?
Because then you still, yeah, 100%. Because then you got Shea, J Dub,
Chet,
Giannis, Chet,
AJ Mitchell, Caruso,
Caruso.
Kason,
I mean, you're still 7, 8 deep.
the other J
The
Will.
other J Will. I mean, you're like 8 deep right now. You probably have the best front court in the league.
No, that would be insane.
I don't know.
If
They
I'm
look,
the
they
thing is if
could
I'm
do it.
if I'm the Bucks, I want Chet. If I'm trading for OKC, I want Chet. If
At
I'm the
that point, the
Bucks,
Bucks have to do the NBA like they had to draw a line and say
like
we're not going to
I'm not
trade
gonna
him.
ruin the league unless
We're
you give
not
me
going to
one of your
do this to the
guys.
league.
Yeah, yeah, because it's just not fun for
Plus, they're
anybody if that
already seeing the
happens.
karma of getting into people's business, what they did with the Heat and trading for a Dame. It goes to show you that he didn't want to go there.
No, it didn't work.
You
Didn't work.
guys jumped in and said, "We'll make the deal." And look how that worked out. Now you're still
You
paying
think
you're
what if
stretched
Portland can
Dame.
trade for him and reunite Dame and
Right,
Giannis?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the play. That's the magic move. Oh man. Yeah, I'm it's gonna be exciting. He's gonna get traded. It's gonna happen. We just don't know where
I
yet.
think it's time for him to move on.
Yeah. In terms of other trades that are going around the league, which there's gonna be a ton, and like we said, the dominoes falling. He's the big domino. People
Mm-hmm.
aren't gonna empty out the basket until he goes. This is a report by Brett Siegel. The Pelicans will accept the first decent, reasonable offer made for Zion Williamson. That's in quotes. The first decent, reasonable offer.
So they're
How
dying to get
sad
off
is
him.
that? How for you to put that in quotations reported?
Do they want Niko Jovic?
But I would. I would do you
My
want Niko Jovic
right now, I think
and a
my
Terry Rozier contract?
my package for everything when it comes to Heat deals is always Niko Jovic, Terry Rozier contract, and a second round pick.
Are you guys cool with that? Is that the first reasonable
That's
offer?
pretty decent. That's pretty reasonable.
That's. It's really sad that he can't play basketball. He kind of fooled us with the skinny Zion this year. Uh, it's he just can't stay healthy, man. It really sucks. Another team, we talked about them already, but the Clippers are expecting a fire sale. In those words, the teams around the league are expecting a fire sale for the Clippers. Anthony Davis might be on the move. I mean, we already saw reports about Trae Young, John Morant, LaMelo Ball. There's a lot of
It should be an active trade market this year.
yeah, there's a lot of, especially with how wide open the East is. A lot of teams in
There's
the
gonna
East
be
are thinking,
teams, yeah.
I can do this. Like, why
We're a
wouldn't
move
I?
away.
Yeah, why wouldn't I go all in to try to do it? So
Little do they know that no one is competing from the East in the finals, but hey,
I look, if they're willing to take our peanuts for Giannis, I think the Heat could win a championship if we are able to send out some peanuts for Giannis.
imagine a front
It's
court defensively of Wiggins, Bam, and Giannis.
no, that's come on.
Who's
What are
scoring
we
on
doing?
them?
Like,
And then you got
yeah, what are we
Davion
doing?
and Norm.
Yeah, come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? That's look. We need Tyler Hero to have some games. We need him to go off.
To up that value.
I've always been against it. I've always been off the trade Tyler Hero bandwagon. But when you're talking about Giannis, you're talking about something else. You're talking about a different thing.
Yeah.
They're not gonna want Norm. Norm is older and they want a young guy. Also,
Would you trade Tyler for 80?
no,
Nah, I made you
not
think about it
personally.
first. You thought about it for a
Yeah,
second.
because it's the health thing again, right? Like AD is obviously a better player than Tyler, and I think he fits the team like a glove. And I could be wrong because maybe AD has a really healthy season this year and it continues to ball out. But
Also, what do you do with Ware?
that's the thing too. Like you're moving,
Because
you're
you have
getting
to play Bam and AD together.
yeah, you're gonna get rid of Killaware's minutes pretty much, unless you're sending out some other stuff with that too. But I that's tough, man. I don't know. It's a better fit.
I would trade Tyler for AD and then trade Ware for John Morant.
That's insane. But
Because then you get John Morant, Norm Powell, Bam
and
Adebayo, Anthony Davis.
keep me away from John Moran, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
that
good
team's
on
a
the.
championship.
I think it's fine without him. I think we can. I'd rather take Trae Young than John
And then you'd
Moran.
have to deal with Team Morant sitting courtside off the Hennessy every game.
And John Morant's gonna get. We have open carry laws in Florida.
Yeah,
I think
that's a bad mix.
that's a really bad mix for John Moran if he comes to a state with open
Also,
carry laws.
I like seeing videos of Team Morant acting a fool courtside, and it's people are like, "Oh, well, why is John Morant like this?" Like, look at his dad. He's an absolute
Yeah,
clown.
and that's actually you're right. That's like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
No,
Uh, I'm just throwing this out there for funsies for if the rare off case if someone hears this and it pisses them off. What if the Celtics trade Jason Tatum?
like right now, while he's
Yeah,
injured,
yeah. They're like Jalen Brown's good enough. We're gonna rebuild around Jalen. This is Jalen Brown City.
that would
Tatum's a
be
bum.
insane. And
Bam and Tatum are like best friends.
also the package that you would get for Jason Tatum would be unheard of, especially with someone with a torn Achilles at the moment. Or
Yeah, but
not
I
at the
think
moment, but still a
his
recovering.
value is still so high.
It's so high.
Yeah. Actually, this is actually a good question. This is actually a good question. I'll throw it at you before we get off of trade talk. Would you be okay with the Heat helping facilitate a trade in which the Spurs get Giannis
Hmm.
by maybe we get Castle or maybe we get Fox. Maybe we get some picks from that. Like
Yeah, I'll do
we
it.
are not the ones getting getting Giannis, but we get a player and some picks. I mean,
I do it.
yeah,
I
like
do it
if we can't get them,
because we're
you
not even
know,
in the conference. At the end of the day, we're just trying
that's
to get to
true.
the finals.
That's true. You're right. I would be okay with that.
I wouldn't
I
help
wouldn't
if
be
it
upset.
was sending him to like the Pistons or the Knicks or something like that. But if it's the
No,
Spurs,
no, no. I would not help to send him anywhere in the Eastern Conference.
no.
That's against my against my wishes. Uh, it's also I did want to mention this. It's been interesting. I mentioned earlier that Bam and Norm were on the old man and the three. They're like continuing this little media run together. They're like in a little honeymoon period. They
They
had the Amazon Prime thing, and now they're on old man and the
they seem to
three.
be good buds.
Are they going to go on Good Morning America next?
They have to. They
They
have
just
to.
a little like
They're doing a press tour.
they're doing a little press tour. It was really cute. I heard the whole thing this morning. I had it playing on 1.2 times speed to be able to get it in before this recording. Bam said that his first ever impression of Norman Powell was that he's bow-legged. This was when he played against him. he,
He is
he
extremely bow-legged.
yeah, he said he didn't tell him to his face until Powell was actually on the team that was his first impression of him. But yeah, you're right. I never really noticed it. But Norm is bow-legged, which
Extremely.
is interesting. Also, they really got into it. Just some funny bits or good bits from here. Bam has said this before, but he really spoke to it more. How much he hated Spoelstra his first few years. He said it was to the point where he couldn't look at him. He's like, just hearing his voice would piss me off. I didn't want to look at him. And that UD really changed his mindset. Like, yo, like he's gonna give you minutes eventually, and when he does,
Yeah.
you can't be in there pouting. You got to go out there and play. So I thought that was interesting to say. I thought another just a little tidbit, Norm mentioning that the conditioning for the Heat was actually crazy. He's like, I felt like I was in great condition for the Clippers. And then I got here and he's like, this shit's hard.
And that's people
And
players have said that they've changed that kind of. It hasn't. It's not as what it used to be.
yeah, it's probably easier than it was. And that's Bam. So Bam told him, he's like, oh, it's easy this year. And Norm's like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not. Uh, and then last but not least, this was I think a slight shot from Bam at Jimmy without being too direct. He mentioned being thankful that the Heat have a great locker room this year. And in the past, they've had some bad locker rooms that affected everything on the court. And that since he's a single child, an only child, he treats his teammates like brothers. So he really means that. And I kept putting into context. Last year was obviously the worst locker room the Heat have had in years. And
Sure.
also the Jimmy not saying hi to Bam or to anyone
Mm-hmm.
after the game. I can't imagine Bam is the bad guy in this situation. I just can't. There's
No,
no way I can picture Bam being the one who soured that relationship.
it's unfortunate. It still
Yeah,
pissed me off the other day to see when Jimmy just walked off the court, didn't say hi to anybody, didn't acknowledge anybody.
that was whack. That was whack.
Those guys have nothing to do with your contract situation, man.
You and you're old as hell. Like you already were on a good contract. Just you know what this team would look great with? Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler.
This
Yeah.
team would look great with Jimmy Butler. But
No, I really do think that they need to make a trade for a backup five. I think a backup
um
five really unlocks a lot of things for this team, and including being able to play Bam and Ware for extended minutes.
yeah, man. I actually, which I should have mentioned this earlier. I on the last pod I mentioned like, shoot, if Dallas is selling players, I'd love to trade for Gafford.
Gafford, yeah,
He tweaked his ankle again last night, which I felt so bad for him because
he's
he was
had
having himself a game.
he's had some tough luck.
Yeah, I think he's already missed like 8 or 10 games this season alone with that same ankle injury. He just keeps retweaking it.
I
And
think
like,
Gafford and
let
also
him rest more.
yeah, and also
Because if you're
Claxton.
retweaking the same ankle,
Yeah, the ankle has to rest.
yeah. And who were you saying?
No, Nick Claxton also be a great backup five option.
You know who would be a great backup five option?
Whew.
Michael Porter fucking Jr.
He's such a bucket getter.
Have you been seeing what he's doing on the Brooklyn Nets?
He's just putting up shots.
And he's scoring though. He's playing.
And also not on terrible percentages.
No. And he had a nice little interview where he was saying how he thinks the coach for the Brooklyn Nets is a genius. Like he loves him and is a young new coach too. Another one of these
He's
guys.
Jordy, right?
Yeah. He's like, this guy, he puts me in great positions. Like he's always reviewing film with me, just talking him up. And also a very big lack of controversial content from Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, he's just worried about hoops right now.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I don't even think he'd be backup. He'd probably be a starter for our team. Two last things I do want to get to before we get out of here. This one's very quick. Jaylen Brown had a clip. He's been streaming. I don't know if it's on Twitch or where lately. It's been cool. I've been seeing some clips.
Mm-hmm.
A very personable guy. He had a clip talking about how he just reached 12K points and he started laughing at himself, and he's like, "How the fuck does Braun have 42,000?"
That's
And
that record's never gonna be touched.
yeah, I think I mean it got a lot of hype obviously when he did it, but I don't think it's gotten enough, and I think it's going to get more and more as we realize no one's getting close to that.
No,
That's an impossible record. That's an
no.
impossible record.
There's no way. Just for the
It's
way that people play, like their minutes nowadays, how many games they play in a season, you'd have to play and amount of seasons. People aren't gonna play 23 seasons.
You have to come into the league already being an amazing player. You have to almost never get injured throughout your whole career, and
It's just not gonna happen.
it's so hard. And you have to play 20 plus years. It's just too hard. You need to get some player who has that same build, like same luck of no injuries, but is like a 3-point specialist or something. That's the only way. Like,
Looking at the players coming in now and have come in the last couple seasons, I just
no.
none of those like they just don't play enough.
I mean, this is way, 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 way too soon, but like Cooper is the only one who's like young enough.
Yeah, but he's not like I just don't think he's that kind of guy that's gonna
I
put up
don't know.
30 points.
He's not as transcendent. I don't, yeah, it's too difficult, man. It's way too difficult. I thought Luca had a chance when he first got into the league, but he doesn't play enough.
But he's gonna play enough.
Yeah, that's tough. And then the last thing, this is just cool. We talked about this pre-pod, but Max Kellerman is back. He's joining the Ringer. He will be hosting a podcast with Rich Paul, which is very exciting. Also cool to know because Stephen A. Smith and LeBron had a beef, and now Max Kellerman is having a show
Yeah.
with Rich Paul. So that's pretty cool. I'm really excited to hear that. I think next week is their first episode. He had a really long pod with Bill Simmons talking about everything that he's missed out on in the past 2 years that he hasn't been. And he had this quote saying why him and Stephen A weren't a good fit. And he didn't take too many shots. He kept it, he was civil. But he said, if you're having a debate show, I'm the worst person to pick as your partner. You really want to go every day 15 rounds with Mohammed Kellerman? And just a bar by Max Kellerman.
I love Kellerman.
Yeah, I'm excited that we'll be getting Max Kellerman content. The NBA is in a great spot. The broadcasts have been better. People covering the league, I feel like, are doing a great job. We're doing a great job on this show here.
Yeah, obviously.
But yeah, obviously. But Lenny, we're about to close this out. Last but not least, things we're fired up for, things we're burnt out by. I'll go first. I'm fired up for the NBA Cup because I'm an NBA Cup head. That's what I'm known as.
Yeah.
I am an NBA Cup head. What about you?
Fired up trade season.
That's a good one too. I love trade season.
Trade season upon us. December 15th, I think, is a date to look at.
We have to be refreshing your feeds all the time, checking to see what people are posting. People are putting out messages from their agents. You know, there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of leaks. It is a good time. What I'm burnt out by, and hopefully it'll quell itself after trade season ends, actually. I'm burnt out by the game-to-game discussion with the Heat right now and, like, the picking, like, oh, Tyler Hero, you see, this game, he couldn't score in the second half. It's like, brother, just give it a rest. Just give it some time. I feel like people lose the forest for the trees sometimes.
It's always the same.
Yeah, that's just what I'm burnt out by. I feel like I've seen so many posts about Tyler Hero when he's been playing all right.
People love talking about him.
Yeah. Even though I'm here trying to trade him for Giannis, but that's different. That's different. He is not Giannis, I can safely say. 100%. Anything burning you out this
Nikola Jovic. It's burning me out. He's got to get it going.
And he's burnt out.
He himself is burnt out, honestly.
He himself is somewhere in a dark place. In the what was the from Get Out? The sunken place.
So he is in the sunken place right now, but he will get out.
Someone needs to rescue Nikola Jovic. But Lenny, thank you for joining. Thank you for
Inshallah.
Shooting the shit. For having us up early this morning. We'll get this posted later today. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, brother.